Right about me. Right about me. Welcome, Marcus, Shauna, Ash Greninja, Sargent. Welcome, Raboot. Oh, welcome back, Raboot. It's been a minute. All right, collecting the last of some Sprigatito eggs here. If anybody's interested, later, in about 4-ish hours, I'll be streaming some Pokemon Coliseum. Kids went to bed early tonight, so I figured I would stream while the streaming's good. I did not want a picnic, thank you. Warning. You're gonna change your name and you don't know why? Well, fair enough. Every now and then you gotta switch it up or you might get scooch leg. You got school tomorrow, Marcus? That sucks, but also sounds kind of cool. Silly Billy, welcome back. It's been a few hot minutes. That Drowsy looked funny. Make our way back to Poco Path. Hatch some Sprigatito eggs. You leave at 1 p.m. because Tuesday. That made no sense, but alright. Raboot, I don't even know what you just asked. Star Killers over on the other channel. Got the own personal experience there. By next week, you'll be able to leave school early and work. This week, you're doing all paperwork saying you can leave during school hours. I mean, at least it's kind of official, right? Ooh, you guys are like killing the like goal already. I love it. We're hoping today that will finally be the day to hit 300 subs. That's the goal. Oh, great. Ayo! You might change it to Halucha. That's a drastic change indeed. Starkiller, your weather finally cooled down? I think I asked this, Starkiller. What is it that you do in the winter time? Because obviously painting is going to slow down, or does slow down at that time. Oh yeah, I want this. I don't need the GameCube on. I made other plans. I was going to stream Pokemon Coliseum right off the gate, but I decided I'm going to save that for later in the evening when there's less people here. To a Gen 6 or 1 Mon. Then clearly, Ash Greninja, it needs to be Phantom. There's just no other way around it. You know what, Square? You are absolutely correct. Where is the egg counter? New text document. Sprigatito. Okay. Can you tell I decided to stream this one last minute? Charmeleon's always good. Gudra is also a good choice. A Starkiller. Is Meowstic a better special attacker than physical? Oh crap, my kid's up. Gosh dang it. He just lives to ruin my evening sometimes, I swear. Yeah, I did watch the one for Victory Bell, was it? It's pretty cool. You're gonna get ZA when it's your birthday. It's a good choice. Did I say Meowstic? I went Meowscarada. I feel like its trump card move, is special attack. That Mega Victory Bell kind of looks like it belongs elsewhere. It looks like it's a Mario villain. Shiny Hoppip in the background. Look at that, guys. That's what's up. Just airdropping itself into the screen. That's cool. What's up, Hoppip? Ayo, that should complete the Hoppip line. There we go. Hoppip captured. That was actually really ridiculously cool. Hey, Austin, welcome. Is Benelby a Gen 6 Mon? No, it's Gen 5. Evolves into Diggersby. No, yeah, it's gotta be Gen 6. Yeah, it's Gen 6. Because Gen 5 has Excadrill. Funny story. I have the hardest time differentiating between all these Pokemon. Meowscarada is a physical attacker. Okay, I'll be right back. I'm gonna go take care of my kid before he's like up, and we'll be on our way. John, welcome. Why? Why not? Why? Why not? Oh, I love the Johto, or the Hoenn reference, I guess it was. Amy Rose, welcome. How you doing tonight? I fell off my path, apparently. Snorlax. Interesting take there, Don. Can you trade for one of my regular Safeguard Sprigatitos? I have Safeguard Sprigatitos. Actually, I probably do. Sure. I guess. I'm not going to be needing all these. Well, looks like Snorlax just changed your name for you, Ashker Ninja. You shall now be Greninja. Greninja. Meowscarada, the physical attackers. Yeah, that makes no sense at all. But whatevs. Alright, Shauna, good luck. Greninja, yes. How do you make eggs in this game in particular? You got to have a male and a female Pokemon of the same species and or a ditto, and then you do a picnic To expedite the egg making, you give them an egg sandwich. Not to be confused with an egg salad sandwich, or a sandwich consisting of eggs, but an egg boost sandwich. Okay, there's attack up, special attack down. I mean, that would work. We don't need speed up, that's for sure. Imagine waking up and you see a spider on your ceiling. I'm guessing, Amy, that you do not have to imagine this. My wife got home at 10 o'clock at night, well, 10:30 at night, about a week ago, and it's, you know, pitch black outside. There was a spider big enough that she could see it scurrying in the darkness. Like, it was just that big. Dave the Behaving Spider. I dig it. Alright, John, are you after a specific nature? Alright, use that as a trade code. You're gonna go now? Be Halucha? You already are Halucha. But peace out, Granunha. If it's a jumping spider, you'll name him Hopper. The metamorphosis is complete. You're connecting? I bet. Whatever you do, I hope you know I'm deleting it. Just a word of warning. That was a shiny Jirachi. I don't know what was going on there, but... We got like 30 seconds before I give up on the trade, though. There we go. If that's what we're doing. That's what we're doing, I guess. Like, I already have a shiny Jirachi with my OT. Yes, Queen. I love it. That's pretty great, not gonna lie. Evidently my baby is just not happy with life right now. We'll see if he gets over it. You know it's probably never going to happen again? Getting 3 shinies in back-to-back groups. That was really wild. You're gonna have to hunt Phantom and hope you can get one. It was awesome, I must say. And now, I have a shiny hunting arsenal. Oh, don't forget I need to pin Snorlax's new message there. Welcome back, Marcus. Does anybody know how long it would take me to watch all of Bleach? Like a couple of weeks ago. A few hundred hours. Maybe a couple weeks. Oui. I meant oui. That we did, Halucha. Unironically, Silly Billy, I think the Soul Society arc is where I might be. See, Bleach is something that really confuses me. Like, I thought I had watched almost all of it. Right now, main character's name is Ichigo, right? Hey, Mimi, welcome. Okay, so I am where he is in the desert area, in an underground training facility, trying to unleash something through training. How much of the show is left after he completes said training? Because the way that they present it is there's not much more of a power-up to go after that. Yeah, he's trying to like get the mask crystallized over his face and go beyond that or something. Okay. Yeah, I just don't know like the where he's at and what they've said. It sounds like you can't really get much stronger than that as a Soul Reaper. So it sounded like I was towards the end, but maybe I'm like just still at the beginning. He will, because his genetic makeup is ridiculous. You finish half of your brother's birthday card? That's what's up. Part Soul Reaper, part Hollow, part Fullbringer, part Quincy. I was wondering if he was going to take on some of the Quincy. Now, was this like this from birth, and that's why he was able to do what he was doing, or did he do this by changing his genetic makeup throughout the series? In the 1,000-Year Blood War is what they're working on right now. Like, I heard something that they were like not rebooting the series, but like starting it back up. He was always part Fullbringer, Soul Reaper, and Quincy. Okay. But he gains his hollow powers as part... Yeah, that makes sense. Yeah, that's what they're working on. Okay. Like, I knew that there was a reason why I wanted to get caught back up. Because I know that, like, the creator of it, when they said, oh yeah, Soul Reaper's done, One Piece lives on and still going, and the creator of Bleach was basically just like, you know what? We're just getting started. That was just the intro or the epilogue. This is your first time drawing Sableye and Mega Sableye. Hopefully it looks good. And I need to watch One Piece at some point. I resumed my efforts of watching, what is it? Fairy Tail today. His dad is a Soul Reaper, his mom is a Quincy. Got the hollow from mom being attacked while pregnant, you think? The hollow should be what he's working on in the arc that I'm going through right now. Because hollows is like something that happens when the Soul Reaper takeover thing goes wrong on purpose. How did I get that egg? I put a Sprigatito and a Ditto together in my party, and we had a picnic. I made a sandwich. Everybody ate the sandwich, but it seems the Sprigatito and Ditto found something else to do while I wasn't looking. Star Killer over there, loving Fairy Tale. Fairy Tale's a good one. I'm in like episode 230. He got his full bringer from his mom being attacked. That's the best way to describe getting eggs. I mean, it is pretty lore accurate. I was actually genuinely not expecting to find somebody super knowledgeable about Bleach in the chat, so I'm glad I was wrong. I'm alright. So, his dad's just casually a Soul Reaper? Like, how do... I guess I have to wait for the reveal, but, like... That's pretty convenient for his plot. Yeah, Marcus, I have the shiny charm for sure. For sure, for sure. His dad was a Soul Reaper captain. That's way more specific. Trevin over there saying, wait till you find out who his mom was. Okay. So Ichigo was always going to be pretty strong. It's just interesting that he was raised in the human world. And... what is her name? Ryuka? Is that... do I have that name right? It's been months, if not a year, since I started watching this. And I haven't watched it since, so I'm a little rusty with the names, but she just happens to find him and be like, here, take my sword, you're a Soul Reaper now. And we are looking for a shiny Sprigatito, yes. Looking for a shiny in the eggs, a diamond in the rough. If you are a fan of Aladdin. Love the stream? Well, thanks, Trevin. Glad it's entertaining. We frequently talk about random anime. And I'm finally getting around to watching some of the big ones. Speaking of big ones, Fairy Tail doesn't come up in that. Like, the big three were Dragon Ball Z, Naruto, and Bleach. And now we kind of have a new age big three. But... well, One Piece. Sorry, One Piece was in there. I think it was Dragon Ball, One Piece, and Bleach. I think I might have misspoke. Darius, welcome. Oh, Full Metal. Definitely amazing. Definitely amazing. Now, Trevin, do you prefer Brotherhood or just the base? You don't know how you found you don't know how you found Fairy Tail? Current One Piece episodes have gotten really good. That's what I heard. Brotherhood is better, but you like both? That's honestly a fair take. I think there's aspects of each one that I like. I think watching them both gives a better story than watching one or the other. You're 500 episodes behind on One Piece. Trevin, how many episodes are there? There's over 1,200, right? Okay. I'm that many episodes behind. And I don't know how many episodes Fairy Tail has, but I'm excited to go through that one and finish it. Fairy Tail just has such a weird freaking storyline. But it's funny. I think what got me into Fairy Tail initially, aside from, you know, it starts off with dragons and magic and whatnot, is I was watching Soul Eater and got a wild hair to look up other shows that the voice actors appeared in and found it incredibly funny that Death the Kid was voicing the main character. Like, I just couldn't process that. Never heard of Zodiac Sorcerer. But at the behest of Dev Senpai, one of the viewers, I did check out and watch in its entirety Demon Lord 2099. That crap was hilarious. Can't wait for a second season to eventually come out for it. Pending everything works out. The joys of not watching anime, not understanding anything. So Starkiller, Marcus, sorry. Starkiller's over there on the other channel. Do you not watch a lot of TV, or do you just not enjoy anime at all? Because I know you've said you've watched some. When it comes to Naruto, you prefer the actual thing instead of Boruto? Yeah, Naruto probably should have ended with just Naruto. But to be fair, Naruto always was set up to have Boruto be a thing. The world was very acutely crafted for that. Solo leveling is coming up great. Yeah, wasn't there like a whole thing with their studio getting hit with a lawsuit that people were worried that there wasn't going to be the next season? Because like I did just barely catch up on that one. When you did watch TV, you didn't really enjoy anime. I don't even classify. I don't think Pokemon really classifies as an anime. I'm gonna be honest. Like, is there any? Is that a hot take? Does anybody disagree? Pokemon Avery, welcome. It is. I never really watched anime. Like, it is, but, like, I really... I'm by no means an expert or anything. Like, I don't know what exactly makes anime anime. But there are some classifications. And Japanese animation is one descriptor of it, but it's not really the end-all be-all. Anime has more to it than just being animated and Japanese. You watch anime on Venibox on your phone instead of YouTube? Because sometimes it gets taken down, plus you can watch Pokemon movies and Ghibli movies. I mean, that makes sense. I would definitely not go to YouTube to watch anime myself, but I'm glad you don't also. See Japanese animation comic strip style? You're introduced to most anime by fanfic crossovers? Nice. The last new anime you watched was SAO quite a while ago. It brings me great joy that, like, I was able to be in on SAO before it got, like, super hyped up. That brings me such great joy. Like, and don't get me wrong, it is praiseworthy of the hype. Fantastic, phenomenal anime. Hot take, didn't like the Gun Gale series. Most people didn't. I hear that a lot. I enjoyed it, but definitely wasn't as good as the original run, for sure. And I watched Alicization, the first half of it. I have not finished the second half of it. Of that arc, I should say. Ooh, caught that sub boost in real time. Thanks so much. Did I do max finale? Avery, I don't know what that is. So I don't know if they got taken down. Oh, hey! You're on the other channel now, Avery. Nice. I still play Pokemon Go on occasion as well. shiny luck sent my way. Well, thank you muchly. Yeah, Avery, what is your PFP? Is that a Gallade? Mewtwo shiny? Nice. Oh, I am a little behind on the numbering there. If something isn't free, you don't download it. Fair. I have not, Avery. Not that I'm aware of, anyways. It absolutely could get you banned. But yeah, like the broader definition of anime is definitely animation produced in Japan. So I would have to agree with that. I am for sure going to see Infinity Castle arc of Demon Slayer in the theater, though. Like, I have to. That is going to be so gorgeous. You swear you can get banned in Pogo? What? Do you guys see that we can get up to level 80 now? I haven't even hit 50 yet, but we can get up to level 80. That's pretty intense. I'm just waiting for that shiny Manaphy to be unlocked and then be like, oh, by the way, you have to get up to level 70 to get this. Like, man, I just got to level 40 so I could get my freaking Mew I've been after for 4 years. Caught a shiny Whalmer today. That's pretty neat. I think I have about 5 Dynamax Pokemon in Pogo. I really don't like the feature, so I haven't gone out of my way to get them. I even passed up on getting Eternatus. Perhaps not the best decision ever, but I don't like the mechanic. Avery, you have a fantastic evening. Good luck with Shul. Okay, good. I did swap them. I also need to finish My Hero Academia. We hit the like goal already, Marcus? That's what we're talking about. We're like an hour in, and we're on to a like goal of 35. Solid. And I think this stream, if I can do basic math, is it a total watch time of about 9 hours already? Pretty not bad. One of these eggs has to have one. That's what I'm thinking. We have had some pretty wild results on the channel for egg hunting, though. So, like, I'm not holding my breath. I have hunted most of these hitting 700 before I get a shiny. The odds are still good in that after I hit 700, I got like back-to-back-to-back-to-back shinies on my Phantom hunt. But yeah, they've been taking a hot minute. And I do believe I got like 13 some odd boxes. Yeah, 14. 14 should be about 420. You finally found your shiny Houndoom, like just barely? It's pretty sweet. And then I get like 3 and 20 eggs. Yeah. And I think it was 4 and 30 eggs. No sandwich. Nice. Just a good old-fashioned natural Houndoom. That just might be cooler than the shiny Hoppip that rained down from the sky earlier in the stream. Oh, and Starkiller said they just watched Call of the Night and it was pretty good. Have not heard of that one yet. What was it about, Starkiller? It's about this kid that meets a vampire after staying up all night. Then he wants to become a vampire so he can stay outside all night with her. Young teenagers. No, senpai. This is our fight. If anybody knows what anime that's from, you may be entitled to compensation. Classic anime. Yeah, he's young, but she's a vampire, so she's a million years old. Okay, yeah. That actually tracks. But she's like young immortal million years old, right? Not like she's an adult million years old and he's a teenager. We are hunting shiny Sprigatito. Not doing a lot of finding, but we are doing a lot of hunting for it. Master M. My luck isn't great? What are you talking about? Luck's pretty fantastic. We've only hatched 79 eggs. I'm only a fifth of the way there. Sprigatito is pretty cool. Definitely my favorite starter for this generation. Like, I could easily hatch eggs for days before I consider myself unlucky. Or that my luck is bad. Palmot is your fave starter? Honestly, it basically is one. Trevin, you need one what badly? Also, is that a Typhlosion picture? No, it kind of looks like Typhlosion. You like the Fire Croc? He's pretty good. Pokemon Let's Go Palmot. Honestly, if they were to make another Let's Go game that wasn't Johto, I suspect Palmot would be a great option to choose because it's playing off of the Pikachu and it needs that walk feature to like evolve. I think that would actually not be terrible. But what would its counterpart be? A Sprig? It's blue Vegeta? Like, Trevin, we're talking you need a shiny Sprigatito, right? Not just like a Sprigatito. Wait, who? Scarlett Johansson is in the chat. Yep, shiny. Good luck. I have hunted Sprigatito before, and I did get 3 of them just under a different trainer name that I am burning to the ground. So I'm hunting them again. Sprigatito eggs were not nice to me. I probably hatched like 3,000 of them before I got my first one. That's your alt account that your brother's been using? What, the Scarlett Johansson one? He changed the name to Hottie. That's funny. Oh, that's nothing, Trevin. Even still doing Masuda method in Sword and Shield, 9,000 Score Bunny eggs before I finally got a shiny. It was ridiculous. Let's see. Yeah, he's young. You do want to know why anime are so obsessed with high school kids and creepy scenes with them? Because that show does blur the line of creepy things with kids, so you don't know why they don't pick college-age kids to make it less creepy. You know what? That's a great point, Starkiller. I think part of it is their target audience is kids, more specifically. Repressed male kids that can identify with the characters and their fantasies is probably the reason. Or repressed adult males that have their own fantasies, I guess. Oh yeah. I mean teenagers when I say kids. Just to be clear. Not like 7-year-olds or anything like that. I'm meaning like the 15-year-olds. What the show is actually rated for. Dandadan is like on a whole different level. Dandadan's entire purpose in life is to make fun of like every anime trope ever. And I love it so much. I keep saying, if you have not seen it, you gotta watch Kill la Kill. Studio Trigger pulled out all of the stops. And for the first half of Dandadan, I thought Studio Trigger was the producer behind Dandadan. You're kind of tempted to time him out. Just some brotherly love, but you shouldn't have abused your privileges. Honestly, if it's a brother, I fully support this. You have my blessing. To troll your brother in the chat. It's glorious. Inuyasha was your first anime? Ooh. That's aging you a bit. I suspect you gotta be about 33. Inuyasha is one of Starkiller's favorite animes. It's one I have not watched yet, but I should. 37? Okay, I took 4 years off. I'm 31, so Inuyasha is like during my time, but also a little before my time. I think during Inuyasha's run, I was watching Yu Yu Hakusho, if I have the timeline correct. The one with the other fox spirit. Great also. Yu Yu Hakusho is fantastic. I love it. Trevin, have you seen Reborn? Also known as Ultimate Hitman Reborn? Cowboy Bebop is another hilarious one. He just came downstairs to where you're sitting and you gave him a look and said, really? I didn't even see the timeout happen, but now I do. That's freaking funny. Hi, Marcus's brother. Absolutely great anime. Nice. Wait, which one did I just ask about that's absolutely great? Oh yeah, Ultimate Hitman Reborn, that's right. I remember my train of thought. I'm back at the station, on board the train. He was scrolling through shorts when he came upon the stream. You must have already subscribed with that alt account, because I have not seen it go up. I'm trying to figure out if, and remember if there's any other random off-the-wall ones that I'm not remembering. At this point, I'm willing to do what it takes to get to 300 today. Do I still have my list of anime watched? I do. It's subscribed now. Yes, it sure is. I do see that it went up. Death Note. Death Note's fantastic. Hate the way it ended. Absolutely detest its ending. But it was bound to happen, I suppose. Like, the writing was on the wall for the entire show, but still doesn't mean I have to like it. Because light turned arrogant. Although, I think... Isn't there something that, like, there was a way that he could have survived it or something? You started Dragon Ball Daima. Not a big fan of it. Yeah, Daima, isn't that, like, an alternate reality type one or something? I have not seen that one, Samurai Champloo. Hey, there you go, Marcus. That's what's up. Thank you. Trigun. I've heard good things about Trigun. Have you seen one called Golden Time? Yeah, Starkiller. I don't know if it's a alternate reality because like it still takes place in the same time. If I'm not mistaken, Daima happens during in between Super and Boo Saga. Happens in between the death of Boo and the reincarnation in Oob. Golden Eden, but not Time. Have not heard of Golden Eden. Golden Time is like an anime that really messes with your emotions and heartstrings, and it's about this kid who has a crush on this girl finally gets up the nerve to tell her and say, hey, I'll move to Tokyo with you to go to college. And then she says, meet me at the bridge this night and I'll give you my answer. And he gets hit by a motorcycle or something and loses his memories. And so she goes on and lives life without him, and he ends up at the same college as her anyways, and he becomes his own person because he forgot his memories, and like it's a battle of, if I remember all this, do I become the old me and the current me dies, or am I killing the old me by allowing the new me to live type stuff. The great Arcus has blessed the chat with Aura. 4 more subscribers till 300. We are so close. So close. I think we're going to hit it today. I really do. There's a good chance. We got like an hour and a half left in the stream for sure. Oh no, too sad. It's a good show about how he comes to terms with it. It's not bad. What about, Trevin, what about Evangelion Neogenesis? That one seems like one that you would have watched. And when I say that, I am talking like the original 24 episode anime. Not the movies. Absolutely so cool. I feel, you know, like the Dai Li, the Avatar movie does not exist. That's me with Neogenesis, with Evangelion, the 1.0, 2.0, 3.33, 1.11 or whatever the crap their numbering system is. I don't understand, but though that movie relaunch, I think, was trash. I hyped it up so much and got my wife to watch it with me, and like it was not even close to the anime. Demita, welcome to the chat. Thanks for the luck. All the new Netflix animes are good. I've heard some good things about a lot of them. Speaking of Netflix originals, 7 Deadly Sins. Freaking fantastic. with Meliodas. The voice actor for Meliodas is so freaking awesome. Oh, come on, I know he's done so much more. Who is he? Ah, yeah, he's Inosuke as well. That's who he is. I was like, who is he also? You like Bon? Yeah, Bon. He's pretty great. Baki and such? I don't think I've seen Baki and such. Let me see. Nope, have not seen that. I've seen Baka in Test, though. Yeah, it's like B-A-H-N, Bon. And in the Seven Deadly Sins, he is the sin of greed, or Aravis? Just Baki? Yeah, is it referring to Journey of Baki Hanma? Baki Hanma? Isaiah breeding for a shiny Sprigatito. Ooh, you said earlier that you had watched Sword Art Online. Did you also watch Log Horizon? And if so, what did you think of it? MMA style? Very nice. I like a good MMA anime. Yeah, Isaiah, Shiny Charm and Masuda. So, I believe with those two combined, we should be at about 560 odds. 1 in every 560. Is that accurate? $512. I knew it. Gosh dang it. 512. You think you might have actually liked Log Horizon better? If we take it at season 1 value, 1-to-1, I gotta give it to Sword Art Online. But as a whole picture, I think Log Horizon takes the cake, and I am hoping that they do another season for it. The story, I feel like, just wasn't quite done. It really needs a new season. I enjoyed immensely Log Horizon because it dealt more with we're stuck in this world. How do we make this world livable? How do we use the rules of the world to create order and chaos in society. Order and law in society, my bad. And I just thought that was a cool concept. Not your typical isekai where, you know, you're just in another world and you're overpowered. It's just, I am now trapped in this game or in another world, and I gotta figure out how the world works and use it to my advantage. Yeah, the gun Gale killed it for you. It's very difficult to add guns to a fantasy world and then come back from it. Watch Konosuba for a funny light isekai. I actually do have it on my list of stuff to watch. But I do need to add it to my bigger list here, because it's on my watch list on Crunchyroll. Do I have pants somewhere? Yes, I do. You and your daughter are watching Hunter x Hunter. I'm about to. Like, I watched Hunter x Hunter up until the point maybe like 15 episodes after they meet that one clown magician dude. And like, I don't know if it's just that's all that Netflix had uploaded and able to be watched at the time, or that's all Crunchyroll had at the time. But like, I thought the anime petered out there and wasn't continued. Come to find out, there was a whole world that I missed that I need to catch up on now. Because I think that's another one where they're also like making a push to finally finish it, if I understand what's going on there correctly. I may not. They're either adding to it with a movie, or they were finishing it. It's good, not for kids like you thought. Yeah, it's pretty gruesome from what I've understood. They finished Hunter x Hunter. Was this recently, or was this forever ago that they finished it and now they're like making more on top of it? Oh my gosh, Isaiah. Normally people get so much crap for saying that one. I just barely saw your comment about Saraki. Or Sekirei, sorry, Sekirei. Was it ever finished? Hisoka, watch by yourself? Oh, Saraki, probably. I definitely watched that one by myself way back when. If I remember correctly, though, because I haven't searched it in like 4 years or so, I don't think it got finished. I think it's just basically the equivalent of Zatch Bell, but with harems. is basically the story for those who are wondering. How many eggs do I have left? At least 5 boxes. Is Hisoka the name of an anime, or is it the name of a streaming service? Okay, Marcus. So, Zatch Bell isn't a good reference for you since you probably didn't watch a lot of anime. But Zatch Bell was a cartoon. Well, it's an anime, but it's a cartoon that was on Tsunami or Toonami. Yeah, Toonami. Back when Cartoon Network was relevant. It would come on like right before Dragon Ball Z. And after, like, I think it went Zatch Bell, Yu-Gi-Oh!, Dragon Ball. And the story of these two, I'll do Sekirei, is basically these angel-like creatures are to help crown a king of the world and kind of reset things and bring the world into like enlightenment and, you know, kind of like Christianity in a way, just an entirely different take on the end goal for that. Either way, these Sekirei, these angel-like creatures, are strong in their own right, but they're to be like master-servant relationship with a human and commanded to do battle. The winner of this tournament, if you will, is to be crowned that king, the king of the Serikei, or the king of the angels. Most of the time, they would only bond with one of these Sekirei, these angel things, and they would do battle as a partnership, whatever. But for some reason, this one main character, because this is the trope of the harem animes, gets like multiple of these Serikei on his team, bonding with him in doing battle to try and become this king. But it like died halfway through season 2, so if you are genuinely watching for the story, you can't. And like, if you've watched it, people who know about the anime know that it was never finished, so watching it for the story isn't a valid argument. You're watching it for the content that's the NSFW by default, because it's not a finished story. I was disappointed to learn that, because like, I never got to finish Zatch Bell. And so when I saw the first 2 episodes of this, I was like, oh my gosh, this is almost exactly like Zatch Bell. This is cool. And then you lose the ability to say, oh, I was watching it for a story, when the story's never finished. Yes, they're all women with a small amount of clothes, which is why I shouldn't watch with anyone. Oh, yeah. And they get put into those awkward positions as well. Another similar show that's more complete and might actually be a little bit better. I say more complete because it's not entirely complete, but like it at least finishes the arc and the season and whatnot. Heaven's Lost Property is almost exactly the same scenario. Yeah! Isaiah knew exactly where I was going with that. It's almost exactly the same. And it was actually good. Like, I binge watched that so much. Or so fast, I should say. Okay, LeChonk. The people you hang out with are against it. Marcus, this is time, another time for a Sludge Bomb Trainer quote for your wall. And to preface this, you currently like Pokemon. And by the sounds of it, Isaiah and Trevin and Starkiller will likely be able to attest to this. Also, Ein, Spence, welcome. When I was in elementary school, Pokemon was the shiz. When I was in middle school, Pokemon was okay. When I was in junior high, if you liked Pokemon, you were a dweeb and should be shunned and outcast and not talked to. When I was in high school, if you liked Pokemon, you wouldn't get dates. When I was in college, Pokemon was the absolute shiznit. And it still is to this day. I liked Pokemon from elementary school up until this very moment. So I went through the shunning, I went through all that. The same kids that shunned me for liking Pokemon also now play Pokemon. So the moral of the story is, if they're against anime, there will probably be a time where they are not against anime. It may be just that it's not cool right now. But as you said, you have a hard time getting into it. So it's not like it's been a I liked it and then stopped liking it type scenario, because it's clear you like Pokemon, and so you're dabbling in anime with Pokemon makes sense because it's a franchise thing. It's an extension of the games that you like or the cards that you like. Whereas I've always been attuned and liked anime myself just because of the adventuring aspects, the story aspects, and things like that. I absolutely love the stories. I hate SpongeBob with a burning, fiery passion. I do not like it. There's no story there. It's just nautical nonsense, as the theme song implies. And most American cartoons are that same way. So for me, the way I got into anime was I really like the story that's developing over these episodes. And it's probably the same reason why I really loved the Marvel Cinematic Universe, is because you could watch a movie and it was connected. I liked seeing the chain. I liked unraveling the tapestry, if you will. Super cool. Oh, story of your life, Trevin. A friend of you told you to watch Sekirei as a joke 10 years ago, and then he was just mad the story wasn't finished, so his suggestions have lost property. That's how it goes. Like, another one that I'm super, super pissed off that isn't finished. Nisekoi. Pokemon died for a while? Yes, it did. Now scalpers are ruining everything, yeah. Then everyone acted like it was uncool, but there was some of us that secretly still enjoyed it. I made the mistake of not being secret about it. SpongeBob is great. It's funny because my wife loves SpongeBob. She grew up with SpongeBob. And I gotta say, I grew up watching Ed, Edd n Eddy. And so my wife does not understand why I can like Ed, Edd n Eddy, but not like SpongeBob. And I think I just barely figured out the reason. Ed, Ed, and Eddie, every episode had the same purpose in the end. They had a goal. The show was about them trying to accomplish their goal. Whereas SpongeBob, you could watch any episode in any order and never notice a difference. And same with Ed, Ed, and Eddie, really. But the theme was common throughout the entire show. I need quarters to get jawbreakers. Chickens, gravy, and buttered toast. Like, if you got that, you understand every episode. Starkiller, you already hung out with weird kids and was more popular, so you didn't get shunned. But yeah, that's pretty much how it went. Let me do a quick check for you there, Marcus. Oh, Crunchyroll. Since you're kind of fixing to have adult money, let me see if Heaven's Lost Property is here. Yeah, Heaven's Lost Property is on Crunchyroll. Oh yeah, Starkiller. I lost interest in Marvel as well. But that's because after Endgame, it just hasn't been the same. That's your horse, Sticky Hat. I do not get those references. Marcus, I think it costs $7.99 a month. Ed, Ed, and Eddie was so much better. Oh, yeah. Chickens, Eddie! Oh, Stinky Hat. Yes. Okay, that makes so much more sense, Isaiah, in regards to Ed, Ed, and Eddie. They killed Venom. That's your favorite. Isn't Venom coming back in the brand new day? That's what I heard. There's rumors. You may have to wait till May to get your own Netflix, sadly, because that's when you turn 18. That's fair. It's a good 6 months away anyways. Or, you know, more than that. Like 9. And you want Netflix? I bounce back and forth between Netflix and Crunchyroll depending on what I want to watch at the time. Because then you can watch some things that ain't on Disney. Sounds a little devious there, Marcus. What kind of things are you wanting to watch that aren't on Disney, huh? You talk about the Tom Holland Spider-Man movies, or you talk about the Tom Hardy Venom movies? They got more Pokemon plus the Flash series. Okay, yeah. I love the Arrowverse, mostly. Mostly. The first 3 seasons of Arrow were pretty great. Most of Flash is pretty awesome. Never really watched a whole lot of the other ones. You're like halfway through the Flash and haven't been able to finish because you gotta wait every so often to use your mom's Netflix after siblings in bed. Gotcha. Oh, the Venom? Yeah. That was definitely an interesting take on Venom. I have not watched Let There Be Carnage yet. By the sounds of it, I don't need to. It's not the Venom you remember from the comics. Yeah, they definitely took a more of a comedy approach with it, didn't they? Ooh, I feel like I just busted my knee sitting here. Oh, you know what? Another anime that ended way earlier than it should, and I am so sad that it was never finished, and it will never be finished because the voice actor for Miyu Ferinji died. HSDK, History's Strongest Disciple, Kenichi. So, Trevin, you said they make every bad guy into a good guy. Is that not comic book accurate for Venom and Carnage? To an extent? I have not read many comics, but in researching the characters themselves, what I gathered was Venom and Carnage are kind of more anti-heroes than villains. And hopefully I'm using the term anti-hero correctly there. You know, playing Pokemon, but anyone get down on Digimon? If my brother would have kept the PlayStation 1, I probably would have been into Digimon at some point, but I just have never gone back to experience it. Back in like 2005, 2004, maybe? My brother got a PlayStation 1 and Digimon 3, I think. And I was playing it for a little bit, but he ended up giving it back to the person. Venom still ate people's heads off. I mean, yeah. Marcus, you have a fantastic evening. Good luck at Shul tomorrow. Digimon, digital monsters. Oh, that was 40. My whistling may or may not have just woken up my kid. Oh, hey, Starkiller. Did you ever watch what is it, the 5th season of Don Machi? Gotta help your wife out, so I'll leave you with one more Animus Edition, Hell's Paradise. I'll write it down. Take a look at it. Season 2 on the way. It blows my mind just how many studios there are producing anime. It's astounding, honestly. If I ever somehow became a billionaire, I would probably give away half of it to a studio to make sure Nisekoi got finished. You have work tomorrow? Hey, Trevin, we'll catch you later. Have a good day of work tomorrow, and catch you later. If I became a billionaire, you're still in my Destined Rival cards? Starkiller, come on now. If I became a billionaire, I would give you an entire set of Destined Rivals. Which is probably one of the reasons why I won't be a billionaire for long. Multi-millionaire, I could stay at forever. You know, if I got like $5 million, I would chill there quite nicely and comfortably. But if I attained $1 billion, I would not reside there for long. There are way too many animes that I want to see finished. Nisekoi and History's Strongest Disciple Kenichi are among the top two that, like, if I could pay to have these finished out of pocket, I would do it in a heartbeat. You wouldn't be a billionaire long either. There you go. Set up some property, get some houses, buy all the Pokemon cards so the scalpers can't get them. Yeah. Yeah. It's a good plan, honestly. Probably build a pay lake for a small business on the property and just relax. Is a pay lake a lake that you have to pay to get in and use boats on and stuff? Is that what that is? I've just never heard the term before. Oh, you pay to fish it? Okay. I live too much out in the country. That is unheard of out here. Look above. Welcome. How you been? You had one in Tennessee when you was a kid before your parents got divorced and people would travel hours to come fish it. Dang. Is there just not a lot of room for rivers over there? I mean, it is Tennessee. It's pretty long and flat. A lot of oysters in that area. No, actually, I think I'm thinking of Nebraska. Never mind. But the flattened stuff is accurate. We are hatching Sprigatito eggs, looking for a shiny. I decided I'm going to get my Scarlet Violet starter set out of the way, since they can only be hunted on this game. And this is the only way they can be found shiny, so I figured I would get this out of the way. You have places to fish, but stocked ponds are fun for families and kids and old people to just sit and catch fish back to back. Okay, yeah. I respect it. Maybe that's why fishing in Zelda is so popular. go to a stocked pond. Fish your heart out. Ooh, we're almost at the 3rd like goal of the stream. That's pretty crazy. Did I sandwich? Yes. So I generated the eggs with the sandwich. However, eggs have no, or sandwiches have no bearings on eggs and their shiny factor. The only thing an egg does is help you generate more faster. Does not affect the shiny odds at all. Darth Raven, welcome to the stream. How you been doing? You know who we need to see tonight? We need to see Sandgram. I'm going to be disappointed if they don't make an appearance tonight. They asked, poked, and prodded for Gen 3 for far too long, and I finally give it to them, and then they are a ghost. Just won't do. But now I'm, like, also committed to the run, so, like, I have to finish it, lest it become, like, my original Pokemon Coliseum save file, where I didn't quite finish everything. How do I play that game if it's in Japanese? Not very quickly, that's for sure. Part Google Translate with a camera. Part strategy guide. And part struggle. I've also found a few neat tips and tricks for that game to make it more efficient, so that's cool. Like infinite Pokeballs, or infinite Super Balls, or infinite Premier Balls. If I ever get my hands on the Master Ball, that's going to be a good time. I forget at which point you get that given to you, but that one's going to be great. Something fun that you can do with that game, Star Killer, since there's 2 Pokemon, is say you have an Ultra Ball in slot 1 and a Pokeball in slot 2. With your first Pokemon for their turn, you go and say, I'm going to use the Ultra Ball in slot 1. And then you set it, you throw it at the Pokemon. And then when you're choosing your second Pokemon's move, before you do it, you go in to your ball slots and you change the Ultra Ball to slot 2. And the game doesn't know exactly what to do with it because you're using an Ultra Ball. But when it goes to deduct the item from your inventory, that slot and that item no longer match, so it just doesn't do anything with it. And so you get infinite whatever ball you're trying to use. Sandgram! I spoke you into existence not 5 minutes ago. That's crazy! What time is it for you, Sandgram? And yes, in this game there are gyms. I've just defeated them into the ground. Stomped them into the ground? That's probably a better phrase. You can't wait for that game to come to Nintendo Online. You were really upset to see another garbage GameCube game uploaded recently. But yeah, Sangram, what time is it? And are you going to be online in 2.5 hours? Because, Sangram, I got a little something for you. Anyways, back to what we're actually doing here. They must be, like, gone again or something. Then again, the stream do be lagging a little bit, so there is that. Maybe Sangram being here was a figment of my imagination. Seems likely. I just wish they would give us a date on when Coliseum is coming to Nintendo Switch Online. Because, like, I really do want to do a shiny only run. And if that game has save states, that's going to make it so much easier to attain that. Just drop a save state right before they throw out the Pokemon. Switch to Switch 2 would get more games already that are worth playing? Yes. 55 Quaxley eggs and no shiny. It's to be expected, honestly. I think tomorrow I'm gonna finally start uploading my shiny shorts. So hopefully those get some more traction. I really do think the holdup for Pokemon Coliseum is building a functionality with Pokemon Home. Like, I really do have confidence in Game Freak that that's the holdup. And I dare say figuring out if Jirachi is going to be given away in that game. Because you know how in Pokemon Crystal, the Japanese version, you could get a Celebi and you could shiny hunt the Celebi. if your parents had cell phones and you were connected to the internet and XYZ and you had all the tools. And then in the virtual console, they just flat out gave us the ability to get Celebi indefinitely and shiny hunt it there. Which is also on my to-do list at some point. Probably after ZA dies down and after a ghetto, but they gave us a way to get it permanently. Now, I'm wondering if they're trying to see if they can alter the game enough to give us a distribution of Jirachi as part of the game and a Ghetto Celebi as part of the game. You don't think it's going to be Pokemon Home accessible? I think that through some program like Pokemon Bank, it will be home accessible. Just for the ability to have those triumphant shadow Pokemon purified. In your decks. In your collection. I could also see them not doing it as well. But I do think that that's their holdup. Because I'm pretty sure they led with, hey, we're going to have Pokemon Coliseum on this service. And it just never happened. I wish we could battle these trainers with all these Bounce Suite walking around and get them to stop walking around. They're throwing off my groove. Also, Starkiller, I think I figured out how I could expedite my endeavors to shiny hunt in Pokemon Coliseum. I think the natural solution is to play 4 versions of the game at once. Well, I already have a Japanese version and an English version, and I will need the Japanese version for at least 3 of the Shadow Pokemon, because they're only available in the Japanese version. But I have 4 GameCubes. Hey, look above. You have a fantastic night, and thanks for hanging out here for a little bit. Thanks for popping in. Speaking of which, I need to turn that GameCube off. Since Sandgram missed out on me showing it off. The downside to my strategy is I would need another copy of Pokemon Coliseum or another method. Actually, to be more specific, I have 4 GameCubes and a Wii. I think with my Wii, I can make something work so that that counts as a copy of the game, but I would still need a 3rd copy of the game to pull this off. And then I just get... granted, this would be an expensive endeavor, but something that would put me on the maps for sure as a challenge, you know. Because, like, I already shiny hunted Jirachi, and that's a feat in and of itself. But to do all of Coliseum with those odds and that time commitment, I think that would do good. I would just have to get 3 extra Wavebird receivers so I can control all of the consoles with one controller. I mean, I don't have to, but it would be easier. I also need to recollect my Manaphy. I should collect a shiny Fione. Lots to do. Regrettably, I do think at some point I will have to take a look at redoing my Jirachi hunt, just because I don't think that there's a valid way I can get that video over here on this channel. I might be able to, but I doubt it. I just don't think I have that editing skill. My subscriber count for the other channel is in the way, I think. You wish you had 4 GameCubes? Valid. I also have 3 Nintendo 64s. And I think all 3 of them are in the shot right now, to some degree. You'd say you'd want one of those, but all the best games are on Nintendo Online? That's fair. I mean, I got this 64 here. I got a 64 right there. And I got another 64 up there in the box. Well, except Donkey Kong 64. Is Donkey Kong 64 not on Nintendo Switch Online? Yeah, that actually sounds correct, because like I've always kind of held out hope that Donkey Kong 64 would get remade for the Nintendo Switch. Come to find out, literally the only thing keeping Nintendo from remaking Donkey Kong 64 is the Rareware token inside the game. Rareware does not own any of the characters in Donkey Kong 64. You hate all the copyright issues that cause great games to not be re-released? Exactly. Yet, Rareware does not own any of the Donkey Kong characters. Nintendo owns all characters and properties within Donkey Kong franchise, including those originally created by Rare for games like Donkey Kong Country. When Microsoft acquired Rare from Nintendo, the rights to Donkey Kong franchise remained with Nintendo. So, it used to be that there was a huge people saying, oh, that game's never getting remade because Rareware is owned by Microsoft now. That does not matter. Seeing Donkey Kong Bonanza be successful has given me a little bit of renewed hope that it probably shouldn't. Because if people can play through Bonanza without calling it a collectathon, there is no reason why we can't have a Donkey Kong 64 remake. Because Bonanza is a way worse collectathon. Not that it's a bad game. I thoroughly enjoy it. I think it's an amazing game. But in terms of collectathon, it is way more of a collectathon. You're pretty sure the reason we haven't gotten another great Banjo-Kazooie was because it was Rare, then Microsoft, and now it just rots with nothing good out in years. Yeah, I think they tried to do a Banjo-Kazooie nuts and bolts on the Xbox that like was a terrible flop. Or was that Ratchet and Clank nuts and bolts? It does blow my mind how Microsoft just bought up all these game companies after game companies that have intellectual property and rights, and then just has done nothing with the games. Honestly, if they're not doing anything with the games, they should by de facto lose the rights to them. Unfortunately, they own the company that owns said rights, so I can't really do that, but... It does make me wonder, though, what's going to happen to video game companies when Creative Commons hits, and if that applies to video games. Microsoft really should have stayed out of the gaming industry because they lost the console wars and the games aren't that great. They started out awesome and went downhill. Literally, though, every game company that they've bought and acquired has, like, went through the crapper. Like, yeah, they lost the console wars. Halo was great until Microsoft bought Bungie in 343 Studios. We haven't gotten a really decent Skyrim game since, or Elder Scrolls since Bungie was acquired. Like, Halo 1, 2, and 3 were phenomenal. When I do that, Starkiller, does it make chat hard to read? Not really? Cool. Then I'll just leave it on. Well, thank you. part of me wonders if we don't get Banjo-Kazooie games, because a lot of the original assets are so intertwined with Donkey Kong 64. And so they don't dare remake them or relaunch them for fear of getting struck. Having Nintendo go after them. Just, my wife grew up playing Banjo-Kazooie in Banjo-Tooie. I grew up playing Donkey Kong 64. And we like watching each other play the games because it's something we're not used to seeing. But at the same time, it's familiar. The sound bites and the textures are exactly the same. Oh yeah, and it makes me wonder why they haven't released any major games. And part of me is wondering if the reason why they haven't had a stellar lineup is they wanted the holiday season to pass first. They wanted people to have the need and the demand for the system to die down before putting out these bangers, so like the bangers aren't old by the time people can get a hold of the hardware to play them. I mean, because Breath of the Wild did amazingly well in sales. But it does make me wonder if part of their strategy is, you know, maybe we would sell more of these games if we wait a little longer for the console, for people to get the console because they want the console. But, like, if that's the case, I really wouldn't think that that's a good call here, since a lot of people don't even see the need to upgrade their Switch to begin with. So yeah, they didn't plan a major Zelda title, they didn't plan a major Mario title, they didn't plan a Super Smash title. They really didn't plan a major Kirby title either. They're just kind of pittering out on the success of the Switch right now. It's kind of concerning. Tons of people have said they haven't upgraded because there's no need to, and they really aren't wrong. Exactly. Like, the only ones of us who have upgraded are because we actually love the Switch as a console, and we're anticipating the good games that haven't come out yet. But, like, it easily could have waited. Granted, it's made this so much more enjoyable. Donkey Kong Bonanza is great. And yeah, there's just not stellar games to choose from right now. There's not a veritable treasure trove of games to play. Like, the Switch library is huge. Gargantuan, even. Like, there's not even any stellar indie games coming out for the Switch 2. But indie games typically aren't using the resources that the Switch 2 can provide, so it's just, why not just make it for the Switch where you have a bigger share of the market? And I think that's part of it, Starkiller. When the Switch came out, it had stellar launch titles because it was necessary to alienate their fan base to buy a new console. Whereas this one, I feel like at their core, they know that the Switch 2 isn't different enough to say, hey, this big banger game, you're only going to be able to play it on the Switch 2. I think they're trying to handle the transition too delicately. Like, Legend ZA is going to play on both for some reason. Like, would have been a perfect opportunity to rip the Band-Aid off. Just like, oh, well, new console. Gotta get the new one in order to play the game. Same old, same old. But what's alarming to me is they haven't even announced any titles coming out soon. Like, maybe a Mario Collection Part 2, a 3D Mario Collection Part 2 for the Switch 2 on Mario Day would be announced. We got a Hyrule Warriors game. Hardly anything stellar. Not that I don't enjoy those games, but they're just hack and slash games. Like, they're not crazy. Oh my gosh, Starkiller, did I tell you that in my efforts to do a shiny only run of Pokemon Coliseum, in addition to everything I already have, I'm going to need like $500 just to buy the action or the e-reader cards to be able to get all of the shinies. Wait, Switch 2 at all? Those games easily could have been on the Switch. Or anime games or simulators. Ah, gotcha. And that's $500 for the e-reader cards that are like not in a package. It's like $1,300 for a complete set of in the package e-reader cards, which I would greatly love to have, but I'm pretty sure my wife would like do unspeakable things. Yeah, it's gonna be a pretty penny, but I think I'm gonna make it one of this channel's goals, is to do. Kind of like how the main channel's goal was to acquire as many Switches as possible and get the Jirachi hunt. Like, I think this channel's goal will be to do get all of the GameCube, all of the Coliseum shinies. It does make me wonder. There's a person who has an Etsy shop that they figured out how to reverse engineer the e-reader cards and print them out on their printer and make reproductions of them. I wonder how well their Etsy store does with those. You remember everyone wanted those e-reader cards? Yeah, and they don't even do anything in the US. I'm trying to figure out if that's my baby making crying noises. The joys of living in an apartment. You never know if it's your baby crying or the downstairs neighbors or the upstairs neighbors. Your upstairs neighbors were a nightmare. We rarely, if ever, hear ours. And we feel so bad for our downstairs neighbors. Like, we are those nightmare neighbors. It sucks. Goo Gaming, welcome. Goo, I have a very important question for you. You're listening? You got 4 friends that can get us to 300 tonight? We're almost there. We're at the phone a friend level. You could probably make 4 accounts. Please don't. If they don't pop in regularly, that is counterproductive. Because then YouTube sees it and they're like, oh, you have 300 subscribers, but only half of them ever pop in? No, we're not promoting that. You do have another account? They gasp. Everybody be out there having like multiple YouTube accounts. Nope, that's definitely not orange. I only ask because, like, I do want to hit 300 tonight, but I know I'm going to have to stop this stream in a little bit, work with dinner, get some pots and pans cleaned, all that fun stuff, and then I'll be back on about midnight, give or take a little bit. and that'll be for Pokemon Coliseum, so I can kind of do that as a bonus stream instead of my main stream, and I know that's not going to do very well. Like, I don't think that's where I'm going to pick up my 3 extra people on a Tuesday night, you know? It's a little bit too late on a weekday with a very niche game. There's 297. Goo was not kidding. That's a abnormally high jump. I'm starting to think that most of these alt accounts are kids that have their I'm a kid account, and then the I'm lying and saying I'm an adult account. You know? Oh, and 298. I think Goo actually is doing the whole alt thing by the look of it. That's kind of funny. Honestly, though, the amount of people I've talked to that have their... Oh, yeah, it definitely bumped it up. I think it bumped it up by 2 there, Goo. Somehow. Win. Mr. Twirtles, welcome. Of course I'm alive, Mr. Twirtles. If you didn't know, I am streaming on my other channel more than this one. So that's why you haven't seen me. Here's a link to the channel. And that's the channel name. So I've been hanging out on this one, doing all of my shiny hunting and whatnot there, for the most part. Yeah, we need the sub and like. We're at almost 300 there. Definitely. Hit 2 goals in 1. You got it, Goo. That's the mentality. But how have you been, Mr. Twirtles? It has been so long. It's been like 4 months, I want to say. Even though I've only been streaming on this one like less than 2 months. Just a little over 2 months, something like that. Been really busy. Respect that. Life do be busy. Especially over summer. You mean really busy. Okay, fair, fair. Hopefully good things. Now that we're almost at 300, I think I'm going to reach out to individual people in my Discord once again. Well, not again, but go through the list of people I've associated with and talked with and just let them know. See if we can get it up to that 500. I have a month and a half before ZA comes out, and I want memberships to be able to be a thing when that happens. And I also want... I would like to get 1,000, but I don't think that's going to happen. Just not likely. So I would like YouTube to be paying ad revenue by then, but that's not going to be possible. You've been living the good life, so you're chilling? Nice. I'm glad that's been a thing. You started streaming recently. On the same channel you're chatting in on? Two weeks ago, streamed, playing Rivals. Well, there you go. Yeah, that's fair, Mr. Twirls. That's fair. You accidentally scrolled and found me twice? Yeah, Goo. That's been actually happening to most of the people. If they are watching one of the channels, they'll scroll down and I'll be there again. It's kind of funny. You are modded confirmed? Yes, you are. Yesterday on the channel, I was able to give out my gifted subs, so that was cool. Still got some kinks you're working out? Oh my gosh. Streaming is so fun, and it is really fun figuring out like all of the intricacies of it and whatnot. And the hardest thing that I still struggle with to this day is knowing how to talk to yourself to be engaging. Also, if you do put time into streaming and you love anime, Demon Lord 2099, Dev Senpai recommended it. Oh my gosh, it is so funny. Like, just because I've been streaming in YouTube videoing for so long, a lot of the humor was not lost on me. It was fantastic. Even a bad viewer is still a viewer. This guy. Talk to yourself on a daily basis, so that's not a problem, but you're not comfortable with putting your voice out there yet. It is a hard one for people to get used to. And the face cam. Face cam is hard too. You never know who's out there. True. True. Yeah, it's wild. I think I dove straight into it. Now that I think about it, I dove straight into face cam, microphone, gameplay. I didn't dive into streaming, though. I had, like, 3-4 months when I started streaming that I played through Let's Go Pikachu Eevee and Link's Awakening on the Switch. And I recorded my gameplay and did it in episodes, but had the face cam and the mic just in case I did something or said something stupid, because I was most self-conscious about making those kinds of mistakes. And then from there, I started streaming shiny hunting, and now we are where we are. That's how it went. Yeah, I dove straight in because I knew that if I didn't do face cam in mic right off the gate, I probably wasn't going to get used to it and do it after the fact. So, yeah. I am going to end the stream here for now. I will be live in about an hour and a half, give or take, once the wife gets home. We cook dinner, go to bed, all that fun stuff. So at midnight my time, I'm going to do part of my Pokemon Coliseum run in Japanese to get to the end to get that Agato Celebi. Hopefully we can get past a gate village so I can start purifying my Pokemon and walking and having them cut down their shadow time. So perfect time to make a steak. You do that, come back, you can nom on a steak while you're watching. It'll be fantastic. But we'll catch you guys in the next stream. If you haven't already, smash that like button, smash the subscribe button. We are trying so hard to get to 300 a day, so hopefully we can do it. See you guys in a little bit.